Hello everyone, today is Wednesday, December 12th. It's 2:42 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's about an hour and 15 minutes or 20 minutes before the regular session close. On my right is my computer clock. You can see the date and time. And on my left is the time in sales. And since I'm showing the Nasdaq first, the Nasdaq trading at 6782.75. So pretty good day today. First up is the live trade open position with the Nasdaq, and we have a closed P&L of 1290 and an open P&L of 1545. We're short one, and you can see the live trade here on the far right. We ran up to about 900 equity high early on, and then drew down just below zero, only about $100, and went sideways from there until we had this short entry here at 68.61 1/4, and you can see the entry here. And then of course you can see that the market sold off sharply, and our first target on this is 100 ticks, and so there is our first target being hit there. And we're not trailing a stop until, no, our first target is 200 ticks. I take that back. First target is 200 ticks. This is trading two contracts. It's a limit order with an 8-tick pullback, and this is the 1597 Kanashii bar. We're trailing a stop at 350 ticks, and there's a pretty steep goal on here of 5,000, so it's got a ways to go. In any case, the open and close P&L is, about $2,600 or so, depending on how the market ends up today. Okay, next is the DAX on a 150 Kanashii chart. This initially drew down about $800 or $400 per contract, made an equity high of 1,000, drew down again 800, and then has came back with more or less in the U.S. session with some really nice trades. You can kind of see them here, particularly these two, and that brought us up to 2,600. Our goal on this is 2,550, so we hit our goal and had positive slippage. This has been a really strong performer, the Nasdaq on the 150 Kanashii. I mean the DAX on a 150 Kanashii chart. Okay, the DAX on a Super Anko 14 tick started off slow, ran up only about 500, and then drew down about 600 and 300 per contract, and then came back with a couple of winners here. Really excellent place trade here. Nice limit fill and out at the top of the move. And on this one, it's only a 4-tick pullback on our limit order, and our first target is 50 ticks, and then we are trailing by bars, and then at 100 ticks we're trailing by 1%, so essentially we probably got trail stopped out here. And then there was one more trade that we hit our goal of 2,000, so a little bit of slippage here on that. Okay, the Nasdaq on a 5-minute chart, and I've been playing around with the moving average filter, and here I have it enabled, and this time I'm using the Precision MA, but the Precision MA, the BWT Precision Moving Average has 4 moving averages that you can choose from, and in this one I'm using the adaptive moving average, and it's plotting it here. So this trade, the average actually was greater than it was 1 bar ago on this bar here, and so it was allowed to take the trade. And on this one, it's a steep pullback, 20 ticks, which actually is only 5 points in the Nasdaq, but still it's a 20-tick pullback on our limit order, and then the first target is 200 ticks, so giving this quite a bit of room to move. And you can see how nicely the adaptive moving average signals are here and how they coincide with the trend indicator. So this worked out pretty good. The goal on this is 3,500, and so it only had this single trade of 1825. Okay, next up is the E-mini S&P on a 987 high Kanashii tick chart. And this is a limit order with 3-tick pullback and a goal of 1525, loss limit of 925. First target is 10 points in the ES. And this probably hit its goal and had some slippage, so it was kind of a slow start here. This was moderately active. The drawdown here is about 500 or 250 per contract. And when you're making settings for the Autotrader, it's useful to look at the equity high and low for the chart so you can know where to set your loss limits and potentially where to set profit targets. You get an idea how much it's capable of making on a particular chart. Anyway, this came back about midday with several winners in a row. This was a small loser right in here. And you can see on the equity curve it wasn't much. And eventually came up to 1425. I suspect there was some slippage here, that it actually hit its goal and there was some slippage. Okay, the crude oil on a Super Anko 7-tick, kind of off to a slow start. It first ran up actually about $600 and then it gave it all back and then came back with this pretty nice trade here just before the 11 o'clock hour, and this brought it up to 1210, and I suspect that it hit its goal of 1200 with 1 tick of positive slippage. So it's pretty interesting how you can have, you know, kind of sideways performance up and down, and then a single trade can make your day. Okay, so speaking about a single trade making your day, it looks like this closed out the day pretty well. The Nasdaq on a 150 high Kanashii chart, the goal is 2100, so we came up shy of our goal. It's a limit order with 6-tick pullback. This was pretty active today, making an equity high of about 1,000 early on, and so a lot of volatility on this chart, and then drawing down several times to the 0 mark, and then finally coming back and finishing at 1125. Okay, next is the Dow E-mini on a 1597 high Kanashii chart. This is the one with a 60-minute higher time frame. This has a limit order with just a 4-tick pullback. First target is 175 ticks, and the goal is 2550. This didn't hit its goal, but finished at 1085 for the day. Here's the trades here. Looks like 2 winners and 2 losers. Okay, so I run several setups on a Super Anko 4-tick. This one is a higher time frame of a Super Anko 6 and a goal of 1050. 2 contracts, limit order with a 1-tick pullback and 4 ticks first target. And this hit its goal. Really nice trading today, no losers on this. Okay, the crude oil on a Super Anko 8-tick chart has been one of our more consistent charts in the crude, and this is using our line break logic. There was 2 trades here, and it hit its goal, it did 1,000. Its goal is 1,020, so just shy of its goal, but this has been really solid. If you just look at all our videos, just even this month, you'll see this chart quite a bit. Okay, another chart of the Super Anko 4-tick, no higher time frame on this one. The E-mini S&P on a Super Anko 4-tick, and this drew down here about just under $400 or 200 per contract, and again the goal is 1,000 here, trading 2 contracts, and a limit order with a 2-tick pullback but no higher time frame. And did pretty good, just had a couple of minor losers. Okay, next is the E-mini S&P on a Super Anko 6-tick, and I think the goal on this is kind of short here. It's only 750, trading 2 contracts, and it's a limit order with a 2-tick pullback. And so this hit its goal in 2 trades. This is also using our line break logic. And on this one, the period is 2, so it's only 2 line breaks. So bringing the signal pretty close into the swings. If you look at these trades closely, you can see the line break signals lining up really well here, really kind of perfect signals. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching today.